This is Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. Here, Laurie delivers information from the Mastery Realms related to astrology, planetary influences, energy surges, and generally how we are evolving. She connects with angels, guides, ascended masters, astro beings, and those that come forward with messages to help us on our journey. Welcome, everyone, to Messages from the Universe podcast.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. I am in gratitude that I live a life where my gifts and my career are aligned. I get to connect with the energy of other dimensions every single day. It never gets old for me. And I find when I need to learn or experience something, it comes in the forms of my clients and the messages they receive. But every once in a while, I know I've not been paying attention and the messages come to me in such force, I can't help but pay attention. I know this, yet you've probably heard me talk about the importance of paying attention. And when we don't pay attention, or we absolutely need to experience something, the universe always finds a way. When I was younger and first making the transition from seeing clients part-time and working in a full-time corporate setting to seeing clients full-time and working part-time in a corporate setting, my mentor, teacher, shaman from the other dimension would get in my face. Literally, I'd be in a meeting, talking or trying to talk, and I'd have this energetic image of my shaman just an inch from my face. Yes, making that incredibly difficult to focus on anything earthbound, any earth dimensional items. And it shifted my focus to something no one else in the room could see. That was his sign I wasn't paying attention and I was falling out of alignment. And I knew during those times I'd been getting the subtle messages, but somehow was ignoring or avoiding them until this point of this face-to-face energetic interruption. It was really an uncomfortable feeling, but it helped me learn very quickly to not let things get to that point. It helped me focus more on the subtle messages, changes in temperature, a wisp of energy, something I could see flash out of the corner of my eye, or a drop of the energy in my belly, or other things. Learning happens all the time. We never get to a point of knowing it all, and we continue to learn about ourselves and how we respond or don't respond to experiences. This time, my interruption was a powerful dream. I've had them before, as I'm sure many of you have had dreams that linger with you for days. You wake up and find yourself in awe of what you've just experienced. Maybe you remember the entire dream, or maybe it's just a feeling, or it's pieces of the dream where you've traveled in your sleep, or what you did, or maybe what you saw. It's the dream that lingers with you and you find yourself pondering its meaning, trying to remember more details so you can get the meaning from it. You may even have a feeling it has some sort of importance, that experience, and you just don't know why. You might brush it off as just being weird and you don't understand it, but yet you have this feeling that you're missing something, a key message or some visual from the dream, and you want to hold on to it. In some ways, it feels like a gift. In our dreams, we travel to other dimensions, places where we play, work, learn, or just explore. We may travel to teach, to protect, and sometimes to connect with our soul family, which may not be our earth family. We may have jobs or work that we travel to in our dream state. So when we wake up, we might wake up feeling like we've just had the busiest day ever. And sometimes those aren't the easiest or the nicest dreams. Sometimes people wake up with bruises or scratches or imprints on their skin. Sometimes in our dream state, we are clearing energy, or maybe we're helping another clear energy. Sometimes our dreams can provide space for us just to take an energetic vacation, just to have fun, just to explore, see what else might be out there. Sometimes we visit our loved ones, our pets, or people that have been significant to us. Sometimes someone comes to us in our dreams to help us, and they are the one that's doing the work. Dreams help us process. We process our earth experiences in the spaces of our dream. We shut off all the analytics and just process without filters of the day or past experiences or beliefs and imprints of what it should be. Some of you may have had an experience during the day, and then that night or a few nights later, you dream about that experience. And some of those can leave us pondering or trying to find a solution for something that is just an experience without an outcome. We might just be processing it. Sometimes we don't need to remember because it's from a different time, a different place, or maybe it has a different purpose. Yes, I am talking about energy, time travel, past, present, and future. And over the years, I've worked really hard to understand my dreams. I keep a dream journal by my bed to jot down any notes because sometimes dreams come in sequence or they're connected and I look for the connections. But it's to allow ourselves to use this space for all those things. To travel, to explore, to learn, to teach, to work, to help others, or to help ourselves in healing or processing something. To get information that might be useful to me or my fellow earth beings. Those are my most fun adventures. The profoundness of what we have available to us is limitless. Well, not too long ago, I woke from a very, very powerful dream. And in that dream, I was alert and I was participating in the dream, almost as if I was watching myself within the dream. And I was working with Archangel Michael, as I so often do during the day. So waking from this dream, I was still feeling the power of his energy and the frustration of my humanness. And then I began to process the why, the what, the how, and more. What did it all mean? I felt that if Archangel Michael was coming to me in my dream, it had to be a greater message for all, or maybe it was a greater message for me. Maybe I haven't been paying attention. Why in dream time when I pretty much connect with him daily for clients? It had been a really long time since I'd connected to him for me. And in this dream, I was in a very large room with a lot of people, and some of you listening to this podcast were in that space. I recognized a number of people, and I was so happy to be there. I was there to channel. So it was an organized event, and I was on one side of the room, and I was beginning to deliver messages from Archangel Michael. I could see and feel his energy moving within. I was talking Archangel Michael's words, but my humanness was also very aware that some people in the room were not listening. I was both confused as well as frustrated, not understanding that these people were here to listen, to learn, but yet they weren't listening at all. In my dream, I thought, boy, they really feel that what they're talking about now is more important than what the archangels are wanting to communicate. I also had this awareness that they were aware that they were talking and they needed to stop any disruption, but yet they didn't. They just kept talking and laughing, looking at me, but continuing. And I felt that struggle within me. Do I stop? I could feel the tug of the archangel energy and my energy. I could feel the ebb and flow of the archangel's energy coming and going, and the maintaining of that clear channel was becoming more difficult to maintain. I could feel I was struggling, and I had a thought of, do I let my humanness take over and stop the channeling, or ignore it? Can I shut down my humanness enough to just keep going? Do I trust that those that want to hear will hear and those that are distracted won't hear? Is it my responsibility to have them hear, or are they responsible for their own experience? So much twirling in my human brain. And that twirling continued as I continued to speak words for those that were listening. But then suddenly the room shifted, and those not listening and talking loudly and laughing loudly, they became louder and more distracting. And now less people could hear the words of Archangel Michael. More were getting mad at me because I wasn't stopping to tell those loud people to just stop and listen. And I could tell the tension in the room. I could feel it was building. The energy of love flowing freely now was harder to feel. And I noticed only a few were half tuned in, while most now were wrapped in anger and frustration, or just feeling the overall distraction. And suddenly, no one was listening to the words of Archangel Michael. No one was feeling the heat from his fire of protection and love. And I started to cry. In my dream, I knew I was dreaming, and I began to plead with Archangel Michael to stay. As I felt his presence begin to move away, I pleaded for him not to go away, to stay with us, be present, and that I would talk to them and bring them back to focus. That I would help them understand how distractions, interruptions, and how those things stop our connection. I would explain the importance of his words, the importance that they feel his love and the courage that he was there to bestow on them. He was there to guide, to give courage, to help, but they were being so rude, and I continued to plead. And in my dream, I paused talking, hoping that my silence would bring attention to people not listening, that they would just notice and stop talking and laughing and re-engage with why we were all here. I just wanted them to all feel what I felt when I connect to the archangels. I wanted them to feel the deep love, the safety, the protection. I wanted them to hear the messages. I wanted them to understand what is available when we listen to something different. That there are times to laugh, to joke, to play, and then there are times to just simply listen and absorb. And then I woke up. And as I sat up from my heavy dream state, I began to process. First, just the memory of all the details of the dream, the people I saw there, the place, the people I recognized that were there, those that were listening and those that were not listening. And I searched for more details, and I was amazed at the feelings that I had in the dream, the feeling of Archangel Michael coming in to be a voice in the room, and the feeling of him also leaving. And then my humanness stepped in, and I wondered if I had maybe watched too many Christmas movies. In some minor ways, it reminded me of all the Christmas story themes where the ghost of Christmas past interrupts Scrooge's sleep. But this was Archangel Michael, and he was trying to get the attention of those in the room with messages for them, but they didn't want to hear those messages. There will always be people in my life where messages and opportunities for openings are created, but they might not want to hear. They might not be ready to hear. You may experience that in your life also. That feeling that you could really help someone, but they don't want it. They aren't ready. We have to let things go. Just knowing you've tried, knowing that the opportunity was there. And maybe that's where you take the opportunity for you. This reminds me of a Cherokee story. A man asks Great Spirit to bring him a message, and then he heard a bird singing, but he didn't listen to that bird. And then the man repeated, Great Spirit, talk with me. And from not far away, a loud thunder was heard from the skies, but the man could not hear it. And the man looked around and spoke again, Great Spirit, allow me to see you. And a star shined up in the sky, but the man didn't even turn his head to see it. So the man began to cry. And he said, Great Spirit, show me some miracle. And a baby was born in his village, but the man was not able to feel the beat of this new life. So the man cried more, being desperate and calling out, Great Spirit, please touch me so I can feel your presence close to me. And a butterfly landed on his shoulder. But the man, irritated, brushed it away with his hand. And then the man, alone and disappointed, walked away with his pain and fear held deeply in his heart, not understanding why Great Spirit had not responded to him. How many times might you close your eyes for the great beauty that is right before you, that has been placed there for you to see, to enjoy, to understand? How many times might you hear sounds and words and songs and messages, but you ignore, or you're busy with something else, distracted? It's a new day. It's a new year. And maybe instead of grandiose goals or challenges, intense or resolutions, maybe it's something more simple. Maybe it's just to listen to nature, to listen to your inner voice, to listen to those around you. The messages will always come to us, but being aware and being in a place to honor those messages are our gift back to the universe. We won't always make the right decisions. We know as humans we mess up, we miss things, and at times we simply won't listen. As humans, we also know that failure is not the opposite of success. It's actually part of it. It's how we learn. It's how we evolve. It's how we shift. But listening is the gift that we have that allows us to receive those things that are external to us or higher than us and pull it within us and ponder it. Be curious. Absorb it. So today, my heart sends you hugs and I send you the vibration of love. I send you the message of love. This is what I felt in that dream that Archangel Michael wanted to give. His reassurance that all is as it's meant to be. That even in times of distraction, we can always return to a point of safety, love, and understanding. That we don't have to participate in the noise that's happening around us. We always have that safe haven to come to our core, to come to our internal being. We always have that ability to connect with the energies of divine love, peace, and calm. I want you to feel this love that's always available to us. Because I know life gets very chaotic. It distracts us. There's times that there's conversations happening around us that seem inappropriate or they don't fit or they irritate us. All you need to do is pause long enough to acknowledge and accept that you have your own divine connection with a higher place of peace and calm and love. We don't live in a perfect world where everything is quiet and we get to have those moments that are just for us. We have to understand and work on navigating in a world that can be incredibly chaotic and develop those practices that allow us to carve out whatever space that is we need to connect with our heart. And Archangel Michael, he oversees the light worker's life purpose. His chief function is to rid the earth and its inhabitants, that's us, of the toxins that are associated with fear. But I'd also add that he also comes in to help eliminate the distractions, the noise, the things that take us off path, because he also provides us courage and energy and vitality and motivation. He understands what our path is and why we're here, so he's coming to help. Whenever I open energetic circles, I start with calling in Archangel Michael because he governs the gateway of the east, which is wind and about new beginnings. But he also reminds us that that energy to help us move forward is courage and elimination of fear. He helps us with our life purpose and all aspects of that, including any of those roadblocks that might be put up for us or we put up. So he's an incredible resource for us to tap into. And my message for you today is just pause long enough when life gets hectic or you feel like you're off track. Just breathe and invite that divine energy of love into your space. Don't be afraid to ask him for help because he's there. He's still talking. Even amongst all the chaos and the stuff that's happening, he's still talking to you. He's still supporting you, as is all the other energetic beings in the universe. And I think those energetic beings are becoming a little bit more creative in how they reach out to us. I think life has become incredibly busy and chaotic, and there is a lot of noise happening around us. So we need those times where the messages come to us and kind of smack us in a way that makes us remember. Dream time is a perfect time for them to deliver messages to us. And through my clients, I've been hearing recently that people have been having crazy dreams or more vivid dreams or more rememberable dreams. And I think that's the magic of our humanness, is that we can go all day long and be aware of the subtleties and messages all around us, from the birds and the songs we listen to finding pennies and dimes on the floor, to all of a sudden a thought just popping into our brain, to then going into the nighttime where we travel. We rest our physical body, but our energy bodies are still very much aware and very much engaged with the universe. And that's where we get to go out and explore. I want to thank you for listening. I'm Laurie Wondra, sending the energy of peace and love and joy out to you.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe podcast with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. For current events or to schedule a private session with Laurie, please visit yourlifecore.com.